Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to read through the full article here. It's pretty shocking. There's a link in the description. It's fairly short. I'll give you a quick overview to begin with. Essentially, this is a 77-year-old lady. Her name is Lynn Harriet Stewart, and she died on January the 21st after being left outside of the assisted living community estate that she lived in, like a retired person's home, that type of thing, called Courtyard Estates at Hawthorne Crossing. She was left outside in sub-zero temperatures, -9 degree Fahrenheit weather. Here's the culprit, Catherine Faulkner, an employee of the facility, Courtyard Estates, and she's been charged with dependent adult abuse and intentional reckless abuse following Lynn Harriet Stewart's death. She froze to death, died of pneumonia. Died of hypothermia. To me, this is shocking. I'm going to use the word absurd. It's just absurd to me that you have an elderly person living in an assisted living community, presumably paying money to live in that facility to be cared for, and they're murdered. Essentially, that's my take on it. They're murdered by one of the employees. They're left outside in sub-zero temperatures. What an awful, awful way to die, I'm sorry to say. I mean, the fear that she must have been feeling and the desperate... Oh my God, I don't want to go there. So we'll go through the details. An Iowa care home worker has been charged with leaving a 77-year-old retired social worker in her care to die outside in -9 degree weather, Fahrenheit, 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Catherine Faulkner, this absolute scumbag, a 30-year-old employee of Courtyard Estates at Hawthorne Crossing, was charged with dependent adult abuse and intentional reckless abuse following the death of Lynn Harriet Stewart, 77 years of age. Polk County deputies said that the victim, Lynn Harriet Stewart, a widowed mother of one and grandmother of one, died of hypothermia after being found outside the facility, which cares for adults with dementia. So I think that's telling us that the victim, Lynn Harriet Stewart, suffered from dementia, and she's left outside in sub-zero temperatures. Again, the word that springs to mind is may not be appropriate, but it just seems like so absurd, so absurdly evil to do that to a helpless victim. She later died at a nearby hospital. Further details on how the victim ended up outside and how long she had been there prior to her death have not been released. So we don't know the full details at this stage. The lowest temperature recorded that morning was -9 degrees Fahrenheit. The victim had been staying at the assisted living facility, which houses people with dementia. So the article gives us a little details about the victim, about Lynn. She became a mother to her daughter. She later met and married her husband, Harry Stewart. Together with family and friends, they enjoyed many camping adventures, road trips, races, and making unforgettable memories. During her career, Lynn worked for the state of Iowa as a social worker assisting families in need. In her free time, Lynn loved spending time with those she loved, creating beautiful gardens, listening to music, reading novels. Lynn's unconditional love, indomitable spirit, beautiful smile, listening ear, banter, and wit will be missed, by her family and, of course, her daughter, Sarah Jane Gwynn. So this is shocking and terrible. So this scumbag has been charged with dependent adult abuse and intentional reckless abuse. I'm wondering if there will be a charge for murder or manslaughter, or, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in the justice system. I could be entirely wrong, but what I'm thinking is those charges don't seem strong enough. Again, the police haven't released much information in regards to how the victim ended up outside and how long she had been left there. Maybe I've jumped to conclusions, incorrect conclusions. Maybe this woman, Catherine Faulkner, who has been charged, I mean, maybe it was unintentional. I don't know. I don't know. But given that she has been charged with dependent adult abuse and intentional reckless abuse, then that would suggest that the police believe that what led to Lynn's death was intentional. So I am wondering why there isn't a charge of murder at this point. So maybe the authorities, the police, the investigators, the detectives are currently in the process of building their case. Maybe they're using these charges as a stepping stone to put Catherine Faulkner under pressure, to make her realize that she's in an extremely difficult situation, and perhaps there'll be a plea deal presented or such to admit guilt to a stronger charge. I don't know. I'm speculating there, and perhaps I'm foolish to do so. I'll wrap things up here. Of course, condolences rather, to the family concerned. What a tragic and senseless death, and I would imagine that the family feel betrayed by this facility, would be my guess. I would imagine, I shouldn't say this perhaps, but I would imagine that there's potentially cause for a civil lawsuit, potentially or involving the Courtyard Estates at Hawthorne Crossing. That would be my feeling. If the organisation can be found to be at fault to the extent that caused essentially the unlawful death of their mother, their family member, Lynn Harriet Stewart. So as I say, I'll wrap things up here. I'll thank you for your time. If you do see value in this video, if you'd like to encourage me to make more, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That would be very helpful. Have a look at some of the other videos on my playlist or on the channel. And again, I'll thank you for your time. Thank you.